everybody. This is Dave. I'm here with my friend, as always, John Doe. He, for legal reasons, can't really share his face, but we've been friends for years. He loves introducing me to great old music that I've never heard due to my very conservative upbringing. And I gotta say, it's been an interesting journey so far. So, what do we got today, John?
All right, Dave, we're going to take you on a train ride.
A train. I do like trains.
Yeah. Well, this album is by a band called Jethro Tull. We're going to be listening to the track Locomotive Breath, and for no other reason than that it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. When Aqualung came out, a lot of people said, "Ooh, it's a concept album. Ooh, it's a concept album." And Ian Anderson, lead singer and flautist for Jethro Tull,
I
um,
love the term flautist.
yeah. He denied and was almost angered by everyone saying that it was a concept album and insisted it wasn't a concept album. Although, if you listen to all the songs and read the lyrics, there are some themes that run through the album. But really, that has more to do with what he was passionately writing about at the time. It isn't really a concept album. Every song stands on its own.
Okay.
And I'll leave the interpretation up to you. You're the literalist, but the music I'm certain you'll enjoy.
I feel like if I grew up listening to better music, I'll say,
Yeah.
then I probably wouldn't be so literal. But I can't help it. I hear lyrics and I just listen to them and assume that they're correct.
You take them at face value.
I do. So all right, let's give it a shot. Sounds like a Chopin.
In most rock and roll groups, the most talented musician is typically the keyboard player.
Ah, that bluesy Chopin riff.
It's about to get deeper.
Mm.
Here we go. Strap in.
In the shuffling madness of the locomotive breath runs the all-time loser headlong to his death. Oh, it feels the piston scraping, steam breaking on his brow. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going, going to slow down. He sees his children jumping off stations one by one. His woman and his best friend in bed and having fun. Oh, he's falling down the corridor on his hands and knees. Oh, Charlie stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it just slow down.
All right, so far, I feel like this song, first of all, super fun to listen to. I didn't see the classical music to the blues transition coming. That was a real fun transition. I also feel like this is that time period where they discovered side to side, left right fades, and they just got obsessed with them. Uh, but I feel like this song opened up with a dude committing suicide by jumping in front of a train, and then another dude ripped the handle. Charlie rips the handle off of the brakes of the train, and so this train's just barreling down the track. But then sometimes how people are jumping on and off at railway stations, which is confusing. I assume they're very athletic, and then also he's getting cheated on. It's not a great lyric song so far, but I'm digging the music.
Well, you say it started classical, it moved to blues. Are you prepared for the flute solo?
I'm not prepared for a flautist to overtake this song, but sure, let's go.
Okay.
Who's a mediator?
Here's the silence howling, catches angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls.
Ouch.
Oh, it picks up Gideon's Bible, open at page 1. I thank God it stole the candle, and the train it won't stop. Oh, no, it could slow down. No, it could slow down. No, it could slow down. Oh, it could slow down. Oh, it could slow down.
All right. Interesting. I feel like, was that on purpose? Because the entire ending and the refrain, anytime he said the train can slow down, but that means the guy didn't rip the brake handle off if the train can slow down.
Well, what he was saying was it was a little bit run together, but it's either no, it couldn't slow down, or no, it could slow down. No way, like no way, one word, like no, it couldn't slow.
Oh,
no,
maybe it was just the
slow down.
lyrics. Like the lyrics
Yeah.
put in a comma there. So the
Yeah.
comma made it looks like no way it could slow down as separate thoughts.
Yeah, no, there's no way it could slow down.
I did not see that flutist solo coming. The fact that I randomly paused it there, of course, I have no idea that the flute solo was right there. That's years ago, I saw a video of a guy beatboxing on a flute, and it was like a modern guy. I think he was doing the Super Mario song or something like that.
Okay.
So at least post 80s, mid 80s. But I feel like the flautist was better in this song, or at least equally as good. They're both excellent flautists. But man, from the classical piano opening to a near beatbox flute solo in the middle, this song delivered a lot that I didn't see coming.
Well, Ian Anderson, who a lot of people refer to as Jethro Tull, even though that's not his name, that's the name of the band. Jethro Tull was an agricultural inventor in England. He was a farmer.
Huh.
So the band is named after Jethro Tull, who invented some stuff in farming. But Ian Anderson, the lead singer, was a guitar player, and when he was putting bands together, he realized he wasn't a great guitar player. He was an adequate guitar player. And when you're surrounded by people like Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page, you think to yourself, I'm never going to be a great guitar player. So one day he went out and bought a flute, and he taught himself how to play.
Wow. Sometimes I feel like people are just better than me in every way. Like it's just like, do you ever just read about someone and you get mildly depressed and just like I've been trying to teach myself to program, to write computer code. It's been like 100 hours and I can barely, get anything working. This dude just goes out and buys a flute and then plays. I mean, not back to back. I'm sure that he spent hundreds of hours practicing his flute. I'm not saying he bought a flute and could instantly play it, but wow.
Yeah, and it turns out he plays it wrong. He doesn't grip it correctly.
I don't even know how to grip a flute. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Apparently, I've seen some videos where people criticize, various things, and I saw somebody criticize Ian Anderson's playing, and they say, well, he's playing it wrong, but you can't deny it sounds freaking good.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know enough about how to play a flute to judge.
Right.
All I can go is off of what I hear. But I think we as human beings love to criticize because in a lot of ways it makes us feel better about ourselves. But I don't know. I think I'd rather just enjoy things in life.
Right. Well, Ian Anderson is quite the stage performer. Of course, he's much older now, but if someday we ever get around to doing videos, I'd love to show you some video of Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull performing live. He's like that crazy guy you see at Ren Fair.
Oh yeah, I do like Ren fairs.
Yeah,
Yes, I have my monk robe.
you would think he walked right out of Ren Fair, honestly, when you see him on stage. When he plays the flute, he often plays standing on one leg while the other leg, the other foot is propped up at about his knee or just above his knee. Again, Renaissance. And
All right.
a lot of the music that Jethro Tull does has Renaissance impressions. Definitely Renaissance, and I believe they even did an album that's almost completely Renaissance. And I'll do more research into that, but I thought you would enjoy the music style there, the combination of styles, and of course that crazy flout with the blowing and the singing and the humming above the flute solo.
It really was reminiscent of someone beatboxing with it while playing the flute,
Yeah.
and it was fun. It was fun.
And that was in the early 1970s. I don't remember the exact year that album came out, but it's been out for a while.
I give this 4 beatboxing flutes out of 5.
Awesome. Now, what was it about? Because you know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't know.
I it was something about. So I almost think that the train itself was personified because we get a lot of imagery of they're leaving me, they're coming back, almost like the train itself is sort of filled up with its own sons and daughters and then deposits them as it moves down the track to different locations. Is sort of almost how I felt that. And I almost got this feeling that the train didn't necessarily want to slow down and let people off because it liked, I don't know, pulling its job and the happy people and the kids laughing at whatever out the window or bored out of their minds counting telephone poles, which is a real thing that I've done on a train. So I'm not 100% sure. I think the weird throwaway line was like the guy getting cheated on, and I almost feel like it could be the conductor to a point. But if it's about the conductor, he's a real bad conductor. He's not good at trains or relationships. So not really worthy of how fun the music was.
Okay. There you go. I can't argue a thing you said. In fact, the one thing you said where the train is personified to me actually makes sense. And that all the rest of it is about the people who come in and get out of his life.
Yeah, like single serving friends.
But somebody named Charlie, perhaps a confidant, a friend, somebody he admired.
See, and I figured that was the conductor just because, I don't know, he's on the train a bunch.
Whoever this person may be the person who motivated the songwriter to just charge through life and never stop. He broke off the handle.
But then he could stop or couldn't stop.
Couldn't stop. No way it could stop. No way.
All right, well, thank you. So far, you're doing excellent. Keep picking good ones.
Got it, Dave.